What is up, Cahir Club, and welcome back to another CahirLIVE live stream. How goes it? I hope everybody's had a wonderful, wonderful start to their week. It is Monday. It's the beginning of the week. Hello, Brugger. Hello, Mango. Hello,
Hey.
Shiny Chaser. Hello, Rob. How goes it? Hello, Mango. Is he still doing the Minccino? I am indeed. I am. It's we're almost at 12k. I think we'll hit 12k next stream. So be sure to stop by next stream if you want a bit of a gamba. 2 weeks away. Will be the next Minccino stream, because next week I will be continuing on with the ZA Shiny Roulette. And in fact, funnily enough, it wasn't between the Minccino stream and the ZA stream this time. It was between the ZA stream and the Minccino stream we got new ZA information. That being two big things. Number one, release date. October 16th. October 16th of this year, we're getting a brand new Pokemon game in Pokemon Legends ZA, and I am very excited. Wait, let me just double check. Legends ZA release date. It's... Okay, Firefox hasn't... Yeah, October 16th. When did X and Y release, is my question. Go away. X and Y. Go away, Google AI. 12th of October. So yeah, no, these games are releasing 4 days. I don't know why I had to calculate that so hard. 4 days after the games that there are remake, spin-off, sequels, prequel. Cahirquel. Alright, let's hop over there, because it's shiny hunting time. Will you be streaming it? Of course I will, That was always the plan, I, on the down low, can't help but contemplate if I want to keep streaming on Twitch and YouTube, but I'll at least definitely stream on both if I do ZA, because I like how the VODs are kept forever. Big fan of the VODs being kept for all eternity, actually, you know? I like that I can just go back and rewatch my Scarlet and Violet playthroughs whenever I want, you know? It's entertaining, it's good. And then... So yeah, I'm going to be streaming it, definitely. What's being kept forever is cool, yes, it is, exactly. So yes, October 16th, there will be some CahirLIVE live streams, but I'll be playing Pokemon Legends ZA. And you will all be able to watch and hang out as I play through it. We can play through it together. I'm going to have to try and get ahead then. That's fair enough. What day is October 16th, I think is the question. Guessing it's a Friday. Oh, it's a Thursday. Okay, interesting. You'll have time, because I have D&D on Thursdays. So. As in, I could, in theory, go back and have a look at the time when I did the funny redeem. You could do that. Yep, you could. I'm still contemplating on reducing the prices over here. I think it depends on... Because my intention is, right, let a couple of the accursed words go through on Cahir's here. And let, like, one of the big ones go through on Cahir's here. And then raise the prices. That's always been my intention. I want to give people the chance to actually do them, so they can have that big community event, and then raise the prices a bit. But I'm not sure if I'm going to raise them to the prices that they are here, which makes me wonder if I should reduce the prices here. Theoretically, I should reduce the prices here. It's just what price I'm going to choose, I think, is the question. Is the dub. Maybe I will halve the price, but reduce it to 10 minutes. Is my thought. I'm a points raiser. More funny redeems for you. And then maybe 25k for the single. Is my thoughts. You know, a nice cut in half of the prices. Because I'm just aware, like, I'm splitting stream time between, like, both channels now, right? So, I think doing it like that seems fair. So I'll probably change that for Friday. I was going to re-clarify that I'm doing a Welkin giveaway on Wednesday, but then I remembered no one here's, like, interested in that, I don't think. Except Rob, actually, but Rob already knows. Rob already knows about the Welkin giveaway. This is the one, I like that you sent that message just as it wasn't. That's quite funny. We're at 76844. Maybe I should keep the price the same, actually. Now that I think about it, maybe I should keep the price exactly where it is right now. That might be smart. Unless you meant this one, in which case you were still wrong. I mean, oh, my points went away. Oh no, I don't have any. Oh, okay, cool. I'll reduce the price to 1 singular channel point then for a second. Okay, it's back now. Back to normal. If you were really quick there. If you were really quick there, then maybe you could have gotten it, but like... I think it'd be funny if Mango was lying about his channel point total this whole time. And he was actually, like, at a much higher number. Unlike, just, like, next stream. There was no change, I was looking. Yeah, sure thing, Buster. Yeah, no, I wonder if, he's, like, lying to us. And he's actually got, like, 180k right now. Because, like, I guess that's the other thing if I, like, why do you have Breath of the Wild shrine music? Because it goes hard. I made a playlist with music I like on it. Believe it or not. Maybe next time I make a playlist, I should make it full of music I hate. You know? Just, like, fill it... Whoa! Yeah! Baby, that's what I'm waiting for. That's what it's all about. Woo! He sometimes has Minecraft music while doing the Pokemoning. Yeah, no, it's got some Minecraft music on there. It's mostly Pokemon music, but it's I've splurged. I used to have some Fire Emblem music, but it got taken down, so I don't have that on it anymore. Which is quite disappointing. I might try and add it back at some point, but I keep forgetting. Playlist management is difficult when you listen. Oh,
me when the music.
You and the music. Playlist management is difficult when, yeah. Have you played Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom? I played Tears on this channel, actually. I haven't played Breath of the Wild on this channel. But, they are, in fact, my favorite games of all time. Just very good games. Didn't see it. It was, I think, coming up on a year ago at this point. You two, hell yeah. They're just really good games, I think. There's some of... Yahoo!
Me when the woo.
Him when the woo. They're just some of, like, the... It's just, like, a bunch of really good things all mixed into one. You know? Like, the open world is great and really fun to explore. The shrine puzzles use the mechanics of the game in interesting ways. The combat system is really engaging. And then Tears, I feel like, only ever was a step up to everything in the last game. So Tears of the Kingdom better, as I was getting around to. I think Tears of the Kingdom is just generally a step up. It's got more content, which you'll have to see. I guess you could argue it's got less No, it's got more content. It's got more content. Even if you account for the DLC, I think it's still got more content. Like Breath of the Wild's DLC, I think it's still got more content. I see where people are coming from when they say they like Breath of the Wild more. But I feel like in general, Tears is just an upgrade. Like, I think the only reasonable downgrade I think I can think of in Breath of the Wild 2 tiers is the way, like, the sage abilities work, in the sense that you need to, like, talk to the sages on the battlefield, which is really irritating. Like, I think if their abilities, if they fought alongside you, but their abilities were still, like, button presses, it would be a lot more entertaining. I think they tried to, like, do, like, a midpoint of the fact that people in Breath of the Wild... Because Breath of the Wild's abilities aren't perfect either, right? Like, I did not always want to use Daruk's protection. Right? I would not always want to use Urbosa's Fury. Right? Like, those ones I feel like made you either turn them off immediately, or use those mechanics use those mechanics that activated them sparingly. Like how little I use charge attacks in Breath of the Wild after I've done Urbosa's, because Urbosa's Fury is one of the best effects, but you don't always want to use it. Obviously Rivali's Gale and Mipha's Blessing are both just generally good. But like, having to talk to the sages to activate the abilities is arse. It's arse. It's not a good method. And I agree with that, but the fact that the sages fight alongside you, I think it's peak. I'm a big fan of the sages fighting along with you. 4 days, that is a good point. Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom are getting upgrades, aren't they? In 4 days' time, they're getting graphical upgrades for the new console, which is exciting. I am not going to be buying it on release myself, I don't think. I'll probably wait until Legends ZA gets a bit closer before I buy the console, so I actually have the console for when the game releases. Because I could see there being like a big upsurge in... I could see a big upsurge in... the amount of Switch 2s being purchased around the time the Pokemon game releases. You have like an 80% file in Breath of the Wild, you actually use Urbosa's Fury for much for killing Taluses for money. No, that's fair, that's fair. Like, Urbosa's Fury is, again, one of the best sage effects in Breath of the Wild. It's just you don't always want to use it, right? Like, if you want to spin attack on a Bokoblin, you don't need Urbosa's Fury for that. So you're not going to spin attack on the Bokoblin. Like, killing Taluses and stuff. Like, the Blight Ganons in the DLC, in fact, in general, Urbosa's Fury does really good against. They're very, very good, like, abilities for the Blight Ganons. But, like, again, you don't want to use it on anything. So I can see why they did the abilities like that, but... again, I think the sages... like, Tulin's fine. Right? Because you're not really going to want to use Tulin during combat anyway. You generally only use him for the boost as you're flying. Right? Yunobo, you're not generally going to use in combat. You could use Yunobo in combat, but you're not generally going to use Yunobo in combat. But Sidon and Riju are both, like, the combat side abilities, which makes them very complicated. And Minoru, sorry, I forgot about Minoru. I don't know how I forgot about Minoru, because she is very beautiful. So, like... but to be fair, Minoru, you don't really want to be on Minoru's back during combat. Minoru's, like... I think generally someone you want to be fighting alongside you rather than actually in the fight. Yeah, but Tulin's crazy with headshots? No, Tulin is crazy with headshots. Tulin does do a very good job with that. But you don't use his ability during combat, which means you're not always chasing after him to press A on him, like you are Sidon and Riju. Sidon and Riju, like in the middle of combat, you need to press A on them so you can get their abilities summoned, which is really annoying. Tulin, you can use his ability during combat, because if you freeze enemies, you can blow them around. But, like, generally, you're not going to bother with, like, Tulin or Yunobo's ability in the middle of combat. Gaming with Frankie, hello, how goes it? I hope your week has gotten off to a good start. I'm shiny hunting for the uncatchable Minccino today at the beginning of Pokemon Black and White, because the Minccino in the catching tutorial, not catching tutorial, and I think it is actually not shiny locked in the catching tutorial as well, but specifically in this opening screen is what I'm trying to get the Minccino. So I'm trying to get that one right there. But I hope your week's gotten off to a good start, and I hope you're looking forward to Legends ZA now we've got a release date. That was the other thing I wanted to talk about Legends ZA, to be fair, was the fact that Emma is on the cover. Which I'm interested about. Pretty unique shiny hunt. It is. It's part of the reason I wanted to do it. Because it's difficult and it's interesting. Difficult in the sense of it's like pre-Gen 6. It's a pre-Gen 6 soft reset, which tend to take a bit. What Pokemon games are your favorites? Usum. Minecraft are just Scarlet and Violet. What? Huh? Yeah, Ultra and Ultraman are my favorite games. I don't know why Alola holds a very soft spot in my heart. Big fan of all the Alola games. In Sword and Shield, you're getting 16 boxes filled with the leap eggs just to get base shiny odds. That's fair. That's fair. You not gonna get the shiny charm then. Oh, yours are Scarlet and Violet. I see. That's fair. Scarlet and Violet, they're enjoyable games. I'm interested to see if opinion changes on them at all as the Switch 2 becomes the main way to play them. Because everyone's complaints and criticisms are how Scarlet and Violet runs, right? And I think there are some other flaws in the games, but I'm interested to see how fandom opinion of Scarlet and Violet is going to change if the Switch 2 removes all of, at least most of those performance issues. Oh, I see! 16 boxes for base odds with Masuda and Charm. I get it. I don't know, I tend to just release in boxes at a time. As in, I get a box full, I release the box. I get a box full, I release the box. Because... mostly because I just don't have enough space in my boxes, they're too full. But best of luck on your leap! Right now you're Masuda hunting Grookey and Violet. Nice, best of luck! I hope it, Actually, I shouldn't be wishing anyone shiny luck. I'm almost at 12,000 encounters for this Minccino. I should, just stay in my lane. Stay in my Luck's lane. No luck for you, sorry. You don't have the DLC, so you have to do Masuda. Oh, I see, that's fair enough. What was I saying before? Yeah, no. It's Scarlet and Violet, obviously one of the biggest issues people had with them was the performance. So if the Switch 2 clears up a lot of those performance issues, the Switch 2 way of playing the game will become the norm, right? People will play Scarlet and Violet on the Switch 2 when they're playing it. So, I guess they don't look that good is the other big criticism, and they're not going to look any better on the Switch 2, because they're not going to entirely... they aren't overhauling the entire graphical engine and in way the world looks. That is already knowledge that you can take from looking at videos. So I'm interested to see if in a few years, I guess even Sword and Shield are quite appreciated these days. I feel like people look back on Sword and Shield with much more fondness than they did when they were released, right? I think Sword and Shield will very much have an XY type reputation in a few years. Because there are still plenty of people that do dislike X and Y, right? You'll still find plenty of people who, didn't like X and Y on launch and still don't like it. But generally, if you ask people around, if you ask around, people have more positive opinions about X and Y. Like, I feel like the Pokemon fandom is a very easy place to see the generations go by. And I don't mean generations like Pokemon generations, I mean literal human generations. Because you can tell which generation is, like, late teenage, young adult by the fan favorite game. Like, it's slowly shifted past X and Y to Sun and Moon now. So you can tell the, like, main group on the internet at the moment are, like, those who grew up with Sun and Moon. Which is very much, like, an interesting... How do I put it? What word am I looking for here? Facet of the franchise. Last deck, no shiny. Ah, fair. Better luck with the next batch. I think Sword and Shield, Reggie Rock hates you. You're over 17 encounters for it and I still haven't gotten it. You got your Reddish on your second encounter. Okay, first of all, I'm going to point to the top right of my screen. I'm going to point at that. I'm going to point at that. For an extended period of time, I'm pointing at it. I know I'm not pointing at it, but I need you to look at that number. And take it in. So you understand that you are lucky. Does anybody remember how many encounters it took me to get Regice on Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl? Does anybody remember? That was a full odds hunt. That was a full odds hunt. I could the shiny charm doesn't even work. It was over 1,000. It was over 1,000 encounters for Regice. So even if you halve it, it's like 500. Like, you're just lucky, dude. 70 encounters isn't that bad. If you keep persistent at it, you'll get it. You'll get it, I'm sure. You're throwing in the towel after 70 encounters, then I don't know what to tell you. Pretty sure that was the quickest shiny hunt legend in history. I think it's the second quickest. I have a weird gut feeling that 2 encounters is in fact the second quickest shiny legend hunt in history. I don't know what exactly gives me the feeling that it is the second quickest. Maybe the fact that it was the second encounter. I think it might be 1,400, but don't quote me. I remember 24 for some reason. That sounds right. That sounds right. But it was over 1,000 is the point, which was a lot of encounters. A shiny charm doesn't work either, so it was 1 in 8,000. It's a 1 in 4,000 in Generation 6 on onwards. 1 in 8,000 is Generation 5 and prior, which is what I'm on right now. Odds in this game are 1 in 8,000, so I am over odds. What was your least encounters on any hunt? Okay, so it wasn't the Totodile I got on last week. So I got a Totodile last week in about 5 encounters. I think it was a Quaxley in 3. I think my best hunt is my first shiny hunt in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet was Iron Valiant, because I thought it looked cool. And I maintain that. I think Iron Valiant is one of the cooler Paradox shinies, even though it keeps the Chrome theme of like all the other Violet Paradoxes. I think it wears the Chrome best, especially with like the pink LEDs. Then my second one that I did immediately after was Quaxley, which again, it was genuinely like 3 encounters, right, Rob? I think you were like the only person there. It was just Trico in 13. Nice, nice. I always remember my shiny Trico, because my shiny Trico was an odd one. Because I don't really know how to count it. Because on that save file prior, I'd been shiny hunting Torchic, right? I was shiny hunting Torchic for a while. But I threw in the towel at some point, and a year or so later, I picked the save file back up just to continue on with it. But I decided that I was going to pick Trico. But then I had an idea. I had a really good name for a female Trico. So I was like, okay, I'm going to soft reset until I get a female Trico. And then I got a shiny one first, actually. Which was interesting. That shiny Sceptile is now on my Scarlet and Violet save file. And if the Hoenn starters are in Legend ZA, then maybe I'll be able to Mega Evolve it once again. Your latest shiny in Sword and Shield was Delmise, thanks to the Harvest ability. Nice! Delmise is a nice shiny. Delmise is a cool Pokemon in general, to be fair. Like, if I were a gym leader, obviously I'd be a Grass-type gym leader. I think Delmise would easily be on that team. It's just got good vibes. I think, like, Mega Delmise would be interesting. I'd be very down for a Mega Delmise. But I'd be interested to see how they'd make it, right? Because I feel like if they make it an entire ship, that would feel too much like an evolution. You know? I guess maybe instead then they should make it so that the moss is, like, going berserk. Hollow Ship could have been a G-Max. That is also true. That is also a very good point. G-Max or regular evolution. Either or, but not a Mega, I don't think. He also tried dual hunting from Maractus and Galayamas, but it didn't really work out. What does that mean? Why didn't it work out? I think I got one of the many Manaphy's in 119 at some point in the hunt. And I got a shiny level 1 Giratina at 46. Oh no, I remember that, I think. I remember that Giratina. Which is insane in noting that it was in Heart Gold, Soul Silver. In fact, all of those were in Gen 4. Too many Dugtrios. Arena Trap is a pain. Flying types. Flying types aren't affected by Arena Trap. Just use a flying type. I think ghost types aren't as well. Ghost types avoid Shadow Tag, at the least. But flying types avoid Arena Trap. So I'd recommend going back to that hunt with a flying type. If one shiny on Pokemon Shield, it was a Rikidee on Route 1 in like 130 encounters. Oh, nice! That's a pretty quick hunt. We're talking about a lot of quick hunts at the moment, but like that is still a very, very nice and quick hunt. It's in your Pokemon home now. That's fair enough. That's fair enough. I was gonna say Mecha Corviknight, but then I remembered it got a G-Max, so they probably wouldn't do that. Oh, so that's why Trevenant wasn't affected by Wobbuffet's Shadow Tag. Exactly, exactly. Because ghost types are not affected by Shadow Tag. I'm not sure how long that's been around for. I feel like it wasn't an immediate thing. But I might just be wrong on that. You know what, I'm gonna look this up, because I'm nosy. Pokemon Shadow Tag. Right. Okay, so yeah, Shadow Tag's change was in X and Y. I always thought it was, No, it's Gen 4, actually. I'm stupid. No, it was Gen 6. It was Gen 6. It's just, in Gen 4, Shadow Tag makes the Pokemon immune to effects of other Pokemon Shadow Tag. Holding a Shed Shell allows Pokemon to switch out, but not flee or teleport. I see. Felix, hello, how goes it? I hope that your week has gone well. Back on the Infinite Hunt today. Just riding around the map in Violet with shiny jump to see if you can find any shinies. That's fair, best of luck. You're still waiting for Mega Klinklang? That would be interesting. I don't know, I'm not sure how strongly I feel about Mega Klinklang. I'd like to see Mega Grapploct. Odd one. Maybe won't happen because it's Gen 8. I feel like we'll get some Gen 7 shinies in ZA. But, I hope we get some Gen 8 ones, and I want Grapploct to be one of them. I saw Grapploct Slander, and it reminded me how much I want to see Mega Grapploct. Switch throughout this week. Indeed, indeed. You picking it up, Felix? I think I might have already asked you that. Just a giant stickman made of gears. Oh, the leak. Yeah, no, I remember that. I remember that. That was a funny one. Well, HGSS are my favourite games, after all. And funnily enough, needed to hatch Manaphy in that game to get it shiny. Oh, really? Mega Grapploct would just be Godzilla or Megalodon or something? What? What does that mean? It's... Okay, first of all, it's an octopus. First of all, Grapploct is, in fact, an octopus. I could imagine it having, like, maybe, like, extra arms, like Machamp often does. But I could also see it being, like, a bulk top a lot. Like, made, like, a lot more top-heavy to kind of, like, emphasize, like, its musculature. Mega Octillery, where it's actually what it was supposed to be. That is also true. That is also true. I mean, I'd rather Mega Grapploct, but a Mega Octillery like that... Like, a Mega Grapploct would be giving a Mega Evolution to a Pokemon I care about. Mega Octillery would probably be making me care a bit more about a Pokemon because they gave it a Mega. Mega Malamar too, while we're at it. Malamar's getting a Mega. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be real. Malamar's getting a Mega. If they commit to making new Megas, which they should, and they probably will, Malamar's getting one. If Malamar doesn't get a Mega Evolution, I don't know. I don't really know. We need a Mega for either Arbok or Scolipede. Scolipede Mega would be interesting. They could kind of like lean back on like what Whirlipede is. If Malamar doesn't get a Mega, I'm gonna flip my 3DS upside down. Real. But yeah, no, my assumption is, right, we're gonna get new Megas. Most Gen 6, some Gen 5, some pre-Gen 5, and then some Gen 7. It'd be cool to see Gen 8 and 9 get Megas, but I really feel like we aren't going to see them get Megas. It is interesting, because I feel like if Gen 6 were made today, they would in fact give Mega Evolutions to more Gen 6 Pokemon. Hopefully new Megas for the starters. Mega for Alligator would be interesting. I'm on the fence. I'd almost rather see the starters get regional variants, and then we get Mega Evolutions for the Kalos starters, which we get during the main story. Kind of like how you get the Kanto starters during the main story of X and Y. Personally, I think that would be the most interesting thing. I just hope they give you the Gyarados site early. What if they get both Mega and Regional? That would be interesting. I'd probably be a fan of it seeing it, but like the idea, I feel like they should either have their cake or eat it. Yeah, you have to trade the Manaphy eggs out of a Gen 4 game into another to unlock the shininess. Oh, I see! I was not aware of that. That is whack. And quite bizarre, actually. How peculiar. But I'm interested to see... I feel like we're going to find out in the Pokemon Presents that's coming in July whether or not we'll get regional variants. I think by... The Pokemon Presents in July is going to more or less answer if we're getting regional variants and if we're getting new Megas. If there aren't new Megas in that Direct, and if there aren't new Megas teased in that Direct... Yeah, if there aren't Megas teased, at least in that Direct, and there aren't regional variants in that Direct. If there are no regional variants in the Direct, I don't think they'll be added. If there are no Megas teased in the Direct, then they won't be added. But I could see them just teasing Megas rather than revealing them, actually. Something I want to see get a Mega in ZA will definitely be Aegislash. Aegislash I'm not sure about, because Aegislash already has something going on, right? Like, I think giving it a Mega would be like... giving it too much, you know? Because it's already got a thing, right? You know? I get it, though, because the existence of some G-Maxes make the actual Pokemon feel a bit lamer. Yeah, no, very much. You got a shiny Corviknight in Area 0. Nice, congratulations. Now you just need a shiny Corvisquire. Either Florge or Meowstic need something. Florge I could see. Florges I could see. Meowstic again, I feel like it's already got something going on. Which I think is generally like a good thing with a lot of X and Y Pokemon, is they do have something going on, right? Like, what was it called? Like, even though I'd say Malamar should get a Mega, it has something going on in the fact that you have to hold the DS upside down to evolve it, or switch, these days. Pretty Purple Florge and non-binary Meowstic. You know what? I'd take that. I was thinking Megas. But, like, non-binary Meowstic, and it's like a midpoint between the other two Meowstic. That would go hard. That would go real hard. I would be a fan of that. And Purple Florge. Florges? Yeah. It'd be cool if we did get a new Florge form. I think that would be, like, a pretty cool thing. Hopefully, like, with Heatwave, we get new Pokemon like Ursaluna. That would be cool. I'd be very down for it. But I think the thing that we need to keep in mind on that regard is just the fact that, X and Y has the smallest Pokedex. The smallest new Pokedex of any Pokemon game. Now, there are two reasons for this. People always cite the switch to 3D for the X and Y Pokedex size, and I think that is part of it. Do not get me wrong, I think that is part of it. But the other thing you need to remember is there were 48 in Gen 6, 48 Mega Evolutions. So a lot of the time they spend designing new Pokemon and stuff is going to be put into making Megas. So I wouldn't be surprised if we get, like, 1 or 2 regional variants, maybe an evolution, and then we get, like, another 20 Megas. That's my thought on, like, what we'd get, the spread of what we'd get. Because, like, that's not even mentioning the fact that Legends Arceus introduced, like, what? 20 new Pokemon total, including forms. Pokemon Centers have the cafe sections again. You know, it's those like the Navy? Wait, that does go hard though. I love the little cafe sections in Sun and Moon. Also, hello SFA, how goes it? I hope your week has been going well. I hope it's gotten off to a good start. This is CahirLIVE though, not Cahir is here. Just to clarify. Hopefully a new legend is introduced, like how an Amorous was made. You know what's keeping fashion? I'm gonna do some shiny hunting in Legends Arceus. Best of luck! Hopefully it goes well! I wasn't saying not to use the emote. I was just saying he said Cahir is hello. So I guess it's the name of the emote, but CahirLIVE as well. No here, Anime Husbandos and Shenhe? No, not here, sorry. Tune in Wednesday. Got the Strange Charm, you'll most likely get a couple, well, best of luck. But yeah, no, like, in terms of new legendaries, I could see us getting, like, ironically, what Felix was saying earlier, a new Lati. Like, I think, in terms of new megas, not new megas, new legendaries, I think either we're going to get a new Lati or a new Tapu. On the other side of that fence, I think we could get a new Tapu. I'm not sure how much it would make sense, so I could see us not getting a new Tapu because of it. But, from what I remember in the Pokemon Legends ZA map, there are 5 segments of Lumio City. There are 5 segments of the city. There are 4 Tapus. Add 1 more Tapu. Add 1 more Tapu, and then bada boom. That's 1 Tapu for each section of the city. I am just saying. I am just saying. Although I guess the issue is if the Tapu, if there was a new Tapu made, that means the old Tapus wouldn't get Mega Evolutions, probably. And that would kind of suck, because I think I'd rather see the Tapus get Mega Evolutions. I guess they could put Minccino there and give Minccino a Mega as well. A new Lati would make sense because of the anime with Latias and Ash. And maybe? I'm not sure that's going to be a reason that informs new decisions in the games, though. You have no sense of time. When is Sunday? Later today. First Pokemon Fusion Latias. True, we need a cool turquoise Tapu. I could get behind a turquoise Tapu. Tapu Red Cahir, Tapu Orange Cahir, Tapu Pink Cahir, Tapu Yellow Cahir, yeah. I don't even know if that's part of the anime. It's an X and Y, but it is what it is. Oh, if that part of the anime was X and Y. Ash has generally been pretty close with Latias out of all the legendaries. In the Pokemon movie Heroes, he either gets kissed by a girl who low-key looks like Latias, or Latias. And then in To Be a Master, he was followed around by Latias the whole time because he saved one early on. Found some cookies. Mango, click accept all. Yeah, no, click accept all. You should always click accept all. That's the tip. If you're being offered cookies, accept. I love cookies. Cookies are awesome. I got a cookie on my desk. I forgot I had a cookie on my desk. I'm gonna get to eat that later. It was the actual Latias somehow turned into a girl. Well, like, yeah, no, that's like the point. Is like throughout the whole movie, it turned into the girl, and then, like, she doesn't speak to Ash, so that's why people think that it probably was Latias. There was like a chance it was Bianca, right? Like, there was a chance, like, up in the air. And I feel like that was a deliberate axe on the part of the people who made the movie, was that it's up in the air. But, anyway, I don't think they're going to use the anime as, like, a legitimate decision-making venture. I think the only time they did that was Ash Cat Pikachu and Ash Greninja. And I think both of those were more or less for the 20th anniversary. Wait, you have a cookie? Hold on, I gotta do something real quick. The cookie is now on my lap. You can prise it from my cold, dead hands. But, Heroes was good. I think if I rewatch a Pokemon movie anytime soon, it would either be that or 2000. Hates it when you watch the anime on a live TV show, and all the episodes are mixed up, and you can never find the one you want. That's fair. That is like one of the benefits of streaming services, is the fact that you can watch things in order. But you also have to deal with the consequences. Like that new Frankenstein movie by Guillermo del Toro. Because that looks really fucking good. And hell, we've even got the new Knives Out coming out as well later this year. And both of those are gonna be in, like, aren't gonna come to cinemas. Neither of those are gonna be in cinemas because they're just gonna be put straight onto Netflix. That's bullshit. Both of those are movies I would love to go see in the cinema, right? Both of those. I'd be very interested to see both of those in cinema. I'm not going to get to do that because they're just going to be on bloody Netflix. I think that is a piss take. Those movies look dope. And would be so cool on the big screen. Did I see the box art? I did with Emma on it. I'm still the shiny corner because your sister just stole the Switch out of your room. Oh no. I hope you got it back. I hope you managed to save. You can even remove the space. I love removing space. Me when I'm... I guess light energy. In like that term. Right? Like, if it like dark energy is one, light energy is the other. You know? When you think about it. So playing Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, I'm pretty alright. Usually I'm pretty alright at platformers. But this is a hard game. Doesn't have the controls are really clunky. Oh no, Rob's not a gamer anymore. Rob, if you can't beat Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, they're gonna take away your gamer card. They're gonna take it away. They're gonna take it away from you, Rob. Do you want to lose your gamer card, Rob? You won't get the price hikes at the deodorant store anymore. You'll have to pay normal price instead of a massive upsell for deodorant. I thought Rob was the best at block party dodging. Exactly. I'm almost finished. There's 6 worlds. You're almost on 5. Well, you better be quick. Have been replaying Y, but I restarted again. Why'd you restart? How long ago had you been replaying Y, I guess is the question. Because if this is like a, oh yeah, sometime last year I was replaying Y, so I restarted it. That would make sense. I was so dedicated to hunting Regirock, I not only studied its moves, I also checked how much damage I could do without killing it. I mean, that's generally a pretty good thing to do if you don't have any Master Balls. Especially since the Regis are very hard to catch. Like, I think of most legendary groups, the Regis are one of the most difficult to, like, actually capture. Like a week ago, and I got to Path and Palace and then decided to change starters. I see. Well, I guess it was only Path and Palace. Like, if you'd gotten, like... to Caraway Town. I know places in Kalos. And then reset. That would have been a bit ridiculous. You're using Dusk Balls. Makes sense. Then you're also going to need, like, a Pokemon to, like, paralyze or put it to sleep. Sometime 10 years ago, I tried replaying Pokemon Lapis Edition, but I restarted when replaying it, and now, because I forgot my Kakachu's name, huh? Retrying it, because I forgot. What's a Kakachu? Like, the word for poop? Because I forgot I wanted to use Esper till I saw one. Oh, you'd started with Fennekin. I think I understand what's happened here. I'll probably finish it tomorrow, then hopefully can blast through Mario Bros. U, then kill enough time for Switch 2, then play either Luigi Bros. Or Kirby Forgotten Land as first game on it. That's fair. You're not going to do the new Mario Kart? I needed a Pokemon that sounded real but isn't. Okay, I see. I just really expected that maybe you were playing a game that made one of its Pokemon called Shitachu. Because that's quite on brand. Because, like, fan games either, like, genuinely put a lot of time into their fake one, where they, like, generally, like, research the origins behind, like, a myth or a creature or something, and then make a really, like, interesting and cool fake one for it. Or they make, like, poop mon. And I played some Mario Kart. It seems like a gradual game rather than rush it down. No, you gotta rush it down. You gotta rush it down, Rob. Or if you don't complete it in 2 hours, then what's the point, Rob? You gotta complete every video game as quickly as possible. It's 2025. If you're not speedrunning everything ever, then, like, are you really playing it? Every guy on Twitch is going to be playing Mario Kart World and seeing how quickly they can complete it. So they can be the first person to complete it. And then, Gay. You're right, actually. It's Pride Month. I forgot to say Happy Pride Month. Happy Pride Month, everybody. Thank you for reminding me. That was incredibly rude of me. I hope everybody's Pride Months have been going well so far. I hope. Happy Pride Month, exactly. Happy Pride Month to YouTuber again. Speedrunning unlocking every Daisy outfit. Happy Pride Month to you too, Felix. As a gay person, it's your birthday. Happy birthday, SFA. It's crazy that you're gonna get 30 years older in 1 month. Yep, June is a 30-day month. I should know how many days are in June, because it is my birth month. It happened to you before. I said Happy Pride Month to your friend, who we mess with, and he punched you after. Reevaluate that one, but, so you told, like, 20 other people to tell them Happy Pride Month? That's fair. That's fair. Can't say that. But also 30 presents from people. That is true. That is true. It didn't hurt, though. You see, you put, like, the little tear emoticon after that. Although, are you taking the piss out of him? Is that a tear of laughter? Anyway, what was I saying? Can't remember what I was saying before anymore. It's gone out my head. I had to outgay you to shield you from the allegations. It's fine. People can allege what they want. Alright. Or was it more like proving your point? Proving yourself? Okay, so, like, I don't know why you thought a homophobic joke was gonna float there. Like, after I go, like, Happy Pride Month! I don't know why you thought, like, being homophobic, I guess queerphobic in general, actually, was, like, I was gonna laugh at that. I'm just interested to know the thought process behind why you thought I was gonna find that funny at all. Anyway, wait, was that what I was doing? You were implying pedophiles are like... It is a general homophobic sentiment that pedophilia is the end stage of accepting, like, gay and trans people. Like, it's a general, like, right-wing argument that, like, it used to be gay people are pedophiles, now it's trans people are pedophiles, you know? So, like, generally people try to associate pedophilia with the queer community in general to try and make it easier to turn people against them. Because pedophilia is, like, I think the one thing that every normal person agrees is bad. Like, to the point where, like, yeah, no, like, it's... And it's like... What was it called? So I'm trying to, like, arrange my thoughts so I can make a coherent sentence out of this one. Like, pedophilia is, like, the one thing everyone agrees is bad, right? It's why, like, those videos on TikTok, like, are around where, like, people, like, bait pedophiles. Where people bait pedophiles so they can kick the shit out of them, right? And it's like, okay, so, like, pedophiles bad. Agree with this. But why do I get the vibe you just want to kick the shit out of someone? Why do I get the vibe that you're specifically luring, like, you know... It feels like you're deliberately picking the one group no one will defend, specifically so you can get your violent tendencies out. Because if you were a responsible person... I mean, catfishing pedophiles is a bit of a legal iffy thing anyway, because it makes it very defensible in court. Right? Tobin, hello, how goes it? I hope that your week's been going well. And there's no need to shut up about Pride Month. You know, I'm certainly vocal, or at least try to be more vocal on these kind of topics. Just no homophobia in it. This ain't a place for homophobia, nor transphobia, nor racism or ableism or any of that. I thought you knew what you were doing. I thought you knew what you were saying, but... If you get Shiny Regirock, what will its name be? I feel like it's gotta be Dwayne, you know? Like, Dwayne is like the Shiny Regirock name, innit? Like, there are other names for Shiny Regirocks, but I feel like Dwayne is generally the name for it. Either Dwayne or Smeagol. Like Gollum? You got the Shiny Beldum a few minutes after you, after your Kanto Shiny Roulette. Nice! Congratulations, that's very exciting to hear. Shiny Metagross is a nice one, to be fair. Perfect timing's come into hearing no homophobia. Hello, Guts. Hello, how goes it? I hope that you have been well. But yeah, no, I was, Happy Pride Month! We were talking about Pride Month. And then, I was also talking about those videos where, like, guys... Oh, right, no, yeah, I was making a longer point about that. Because, like... Alright, so... If you catfish a pedophile, specifically to, like... Specifically, like, to... try and get him arrested, right? That is, like, very defensible in court, because that's entrapment. So it's not like that's a valid strategy to, like, catch pedophiles anyway. Because of the law. But it feels like those people who do it on TikTok to kick the shit out of a pedophile. Like, you have to wonder if they're just doing it because they want to kick the shit out of someone. So if they pick the most, like, evil group, right? I thought you were just catching Pokemon, not pedophiles. Yeah, no, it's the new game that's coming out. That's what the new game's gonna be about. You know? I mean, it's needed. The way, like, a large chunk of the Pokemon community thirsts after children. Yeah, sorry, I've missed a lot. You were gone for the Yuka era? Oh, I see. Worst part is you can't catch Regieleki until you catch Shiny Regirock. Oh, yeah, you can't, can you? You're going for Regieleki, not, Regidrago, then. You got a random Shiny Duraludon and evolved it. Nice! I love Archaludon. Archaludon's so funky. 11795 is a really good vibe, by the way. All odd numbers. All odd numbers. Regieleki suits you more. I like the way that Regidrago can, like, turn its head and be a dragon. But Regieleki, I think, has better vibes all in all. Like, I like the way Regidrago's head turns into a dragon. Regieleki, I think, is just cooler. I'd be interested to see if they will make more Regis. I think it would be funny if they had a Regi for all, like, every type. Specifically then, because you'd have to capture 17 Pokemon to capture Regigigas. And that would be quite amusing. You know? A Bug-type Regi would be kind of cool. I could see, like, a lot of cool Regi types. I have a new great question, and I need everyone's answers. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Just so everyone's in the loop, Guts' last great question was if you walked into the toilet... If you walked into the toilet, and there were 2 toilets in there, and Guts was shitting on one of them, and they're opposite each other. It's like one of those toilets where, like, there are 2 toilets, one on each wall, opposite each other, facing each other. Would you look them in the eyes? And I think they might have traumatized a couple of people with that one. Question alone, the mere thought of it. When you die, where hole does the ghost come out of? Why does it need to come out of a hole? I think that's my one question, is why does it need to come out of a hole? True, they should make an ice type. Mate, Regice is a thing? That's a silly name. They should make a better one. The question is centered around a hole. Like... That's the way you phrased it. I think the answer's none. The pores in the skin? Okay, I'm changing my answer. Answer is being changed. I like that one more. The true purpose of the belly button is for soul harvesting. I mean, like, that's where the soul goes in. You know, through the umbilical cord. Okay, you can't steal. Oh. No, listen, belly button because you get it through umbilical, right? I think that Rob and me are on the same page on that one. I think it's wherever you have piercings. Okay. Interesting answer. If you have no piercings, do you just pop like a balloon? Like, what happens there? But why not a fart? Is a ghost not a gas? I don't think it is. You know, all of a sudden this question has made sense. The origin of this question. Like, the vibe of it. Like, before I was like, yeah, this is a question Gus would ask. But, like, now it's like, oh. This is why it's being asked. Because you're thinking about farting out your ghost. That's gassy. Golurk is the last DLC Pokemon on your team that you need shiny, and then you have a team of shiny DLC Pokemon. Oh, nice! Best of luck. I did steal it. Too good not to ask. Who did you... Okay, so you said no, Cahir, you can't steal. Are you implying that I'm not allowed to steal? But you are? Is that the implication here? Imagine if you just called up the devil and said where you wanted your soul to come out of. What? Why are we calling the devil specifically for this? Why is the devil specifically in charge of this? You got it from Philomena Kunk. Of course. Or, like... No, that is such a Kunk question, you're right. I hadn't even processed the fact. That is just a Kunk question. That, like, that is... No, that makes sense that she would ask that. Kakunk? I like the way that sounds. I need to watch those specials. I've not watched them. I've just seen clips online. Like, where she's like, here's a recreation we made in Minecraft. Like, I don't think she specifies that it was a recreation made in Minecraft, but, like, she shows a recreation of, like, a ancient ruin made in Minecraft, and... God. I stuffed that bit a lot. Yeah, I finally sat down and watched one on Netflix. It was great, hell yeah. Then the other one is when she's talking to someone about free will. And she then says, so if free will's not real, is the universe playing Sonic the Hedgehog through me? And why is the universe so bad at it? Isn't that the one where someone's watching someone in the bedroom? That was a joke in the most recent one. From what I understand, I've not seen it. But I'm pretty sure that was a joke in the most recent one. I can't remember exactly what she says around it. Some shows need to be cancelled, bro. Tomorrow's teaching is a menace to society. What is tomorrow's teaching? Is the... Yeah, I don't know what this is. Edgy. Parody of modern day YouTube channels like Darman. Okay, so it's like a YouTube channel. So that's not even a show. That's just a YouTube channel. I see. The fuck? Why did you just beep at me? I'm streaming. Why am I not on streamer mode right now? Okay, it knows that I'm streaming on Twitch right now. How bizarre. That was an important notification though. I didn't check what it is. I know it was dorsal fin 1. Yeah. Don't watch it. It's like South Park with no blur, fully pornographic, and just completely horrible. Like, South Park? Still not entirely sure what dunk is, but sure, I guess. Kunk. Basically, they're on BBC iPlayer. Just type in Kunk on, and then yeah. Just ask a colleague if you could ever Kunk for them, and they'll explain it to you. Yes, you should ask that, Rob. You should listen to Guts. You should definitely do that, Rob. Rob, you should do that. What's up, cunt servers? Hello, Finn. Sorry. No, that is right. I'm sorry, Bruger. Dorsal Fin 1 just waltzed in to chat with hello, cunt servers. Instructions unclear. Posted in WhatsApp. Oh no. Hello, Finn. How goes it? I hope you've been well. You alerted me that I'm not on streamer mode for some reason, or wasn't on streamer mode, because I got a Discord notification from you. Which was quite bizarre, but hello. How goes it? I hope your day has gone well. Or I guess is going well. I don't think you are done with work yet. I just wasn't expecting it. I just was not expecting that message in my chat today. The idea he posted... It could be better, but you're eating blueberries! Exciting! That is very fun. I hope you're enjoying your blueberries. I hope they're very nice. Also just had a great time with the CEO. Fun! Are they fresh or frozen? Yeah, Finn, is your CEO fresh or frozen? They're fresh? That's good to hear. You always love a fresh CEO rather than a frozen CEO, I think. In my opinion, I prefer it when my CEOs are fresh. Berry fresh. He's a berry fresh. I get it. Sorry, they're a berry fresh CEO. Finn works for that podcast. I could see that. I think Finn should start a podcast. Personally. You know, I think she'd be a good podcaster. I would watch a Dorsal Fin 1 podcast. Regirock is a cunt? How many encounters? Okay. I make 30-second podcasts sometimes. Do you all want to be on the subscriptions list? Yes. Over 100. You see, you can't see it anymore when I do that. When I do this, you can't actually see the number it is. So I kind of have to keep it there. Unless, can I, like, increase them both? Oh, I can't. No, I can't. Won't let me. Anyway, you got this. You just gotta have patience. You can't shiny hunt with patience. Then you can't shiny hunt. Zoom in caught your guard. There was barely a zoom in with the fucking background. It's free, but they're all mostly on the same topic because you're an idiot. Link, pics, DMs open? Yes. I want to see the Dorsal Fin 1 podcast. Expect a DM sometimes a day. Yes, I'm on them. Is that just guts, or can I be on the mailing list as well? Wait, okay. You know, I'm gonna ask this after I've gone to the toilet. Which I'm gonna go and do now. I'm going to the toilet. I'll be right back. You guys know what to do while I'm gone. I don't know, what do we do? Talk. Have fun. Have fun. Wait, do I still have... You know what, I can check that later. There needs to be a Cahir dancing dog emote, because this song. I will keep that in mind for the next time I commission emotes, but again, at the moment all of my money is going to be funneled into Genshin Impact. It's how it is. It's how it is, you know. For now, all my money will go towards Genshin Impact. But Cahir is not a dog. That is true, Mango. That is true. Okay, he's getting closer. He's getting closer. One day, he'll admit that I'm not a cat and am in fact a tiger. Probably not today, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be real. I doubt that's today. But have you got ideas for more emotes? There are a couple that ended up not getting... There are a couple that ended up not actually getting made. So I think I'd go back to those, maybe. There's the dog, obviously. Yeah, but as that dog. Him a little kitty cat, Kira's a cat. No, I'm not a cat. Not a cat. Tiger. Anyway, yeah, I've got a couple more alright. Like, I also want to get, like, you know that Chi-Chi lying down emo? I want to get one of those of Shenhe. And I maybe want to get a couple of, like, non-Shenhe Genshin characters. I think that'd be fun. Anyway. Not talk about Genshin. This is Pokemon stream. This is Pokemon stream today, not the Genshin stream. Pokemon stream today, not the Genshin stream. But, what was it called? Oh, no, yeah. I remember what I was going to say. I was wondering, Rob, do you actually do daily haikus? Like, do you, like, are daily haikus a thing that you do consistently do? Or have you just shot us haikus when you think of them? Like, are there more Rob haikus? Rob is not a liar. I did not... Did I imply this? You got to go. Fair enough, Brugger. I hope you have a great rest of your day. I've been loving Rob's daily haikus. I have also, but I don't think they've been quite daily. Hence me asking. Most days apart from when my migraines are already in your brain. Wait, have I been missing daily haikus? Have the daily haikus been being sent elsewhere and I haven't seen them? Because I see one like every once in a while. Book when? Book when? Rob book? Rob haiku book? I would buy 10 copies of that. And give them to all of my friends for Christmas. Which means I would have 10 books left over for myself. I haven't posted them all. Sometimes I just make them in your... Sometimes you just make them in your brain. That is fair. That is fair. I cannot slight that, but I love when you do send the haikus. Because you make good haikus. You're a talented haiku maker. I keep forgetting it's the 2nd. I feel like it's only, like, I feel like it's the 3rd. I feel like it's the 3rd of June, which is odd, because when it was 1st of June, I felt like it shouldn't be the 1st of June. I felt like it should be ages ago. But now I'm feeling like it's the 3rd of June, not the 1st. It's kind of just, like, daily calming measures. I see, interesting. MG Rob, please publish tomorrow, but I would, yes. I think we would all buy. I think we would all buy the Rob haiku book. I think this is a universal decision. Because that would be quite exciting. You make at least 5 sales. Exactly, so it's a profit. That, or like, make a TikTok account where you read them out every day. Where like you make a daily haiku and then you post it. Low-key, I think that would work really well. I think that would do really well. So high-key, actually. High-key, that would do really well if you did that. You would be exposing yourself to the internet, though. You know? So I think it depends. High-key haikus, exactly. I feel like he'd probably just... I don't know. I feel like you're suggesting that as a username. If not, I'm suggesting that as a username. But I feel like Rob would probably make his username Rob Coldridge. Which would also be fair enough. Have you guys seen my most recent TikTok? Because I found that one funny. That was a funny TikTok. I liked making that TikTok. And I liked streaming that moment, but I'm not sure if you've seen it. It'll be his address. Yeah, actually, that's a good point. That's a good point. It'd be Rob's address. Play your TikTok now? No, because I could make you watch it and give me views. I'm a genius, really. You might ditch Regirock now and go for Draco's ult. That is fair enough. When I hunted Draco's ult, it took me over 1,000 encounters. So you can do that. But it's not going to be quicker, let me tell you that much. Is it a short for the ones that have never touched TikTok? It is a short, yes. It's my most recent YouTube short. Or TikTok. What's your favorite and least favorite fossil? Favorite is either Granados or Draco's ult. Draco's ult goes hard. I like Draco's ult a lot. But I also really like Granados. Granados, especially after the playthrough I did of BDSP and used it there. Really liked using it there. Then favorite is Dracovish, least favorite is Caracosta. Oh, no, I think Caracosta is kind of cool. Other fossils are Obostar Kabutops, Aerodactyl, Cradilia Moldo, Rampardos Bastiodon, Archeops. I think this is one of the rare occasions when Gen 1 is my least favorite or something. Now, it's not my favorite that often. It's not my favorite that often, I don't think. But, generally I feel like Gen 1 was a very solid generation, right? I think Gen 1 had a very solid lineup of Pokemon. A couple of them are probably the best at their game. The best at what they're doing. But, like, in general, I feel like they're, like, more middle to higher quartile of the pack. However, I think I'm going to put Omastar at the lowest. Which is probably a controversial opinion, because I feel like a lot of people have kind of pack-bonded to Omastar because of Twitch Plays Pokemon. But then again, Twitch Plays Pokemon is over a decade old at this point, and I wonder how many people have actually, like, seen not AlphaRad do it. Right? Like, AlphaRad and Jaden Animations have done Twitch Plays Pokemon in the last 5 years. But you like him because he's freaky. The issue is he is freaky, and you're right. But my mind doesn't go to that first anymore, because people keep on using freaky in, like, the sexual sense. Someone being a freak these days doesn't mean they're weird and odd and a bit off-putting. It means they're, like, a menace in the bed. And I try to use it as miscellaneously as possible. That's fair enough, Felix. You're allowed to do that. I cannot slight that. However, no one else does anymore. What's your favorite shiny fossil? I think it's the exact same answer. I'm going to keep it real, man. Fleeky, as Mango would say. He already has. He already has. I mean, my most recent haiku was about Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, so not sure if everyone would get it. I've already told that story, but I might tell it again in a moment. Ambiguously, I don't know what word. No, I think miscellaneously fits. At least works. But, you know, Rampardos has, like, that cool red, which I like a lot. And then, Draco's ult is, again, a shiny I actually own. It took me about 1,000 or so encounters to get. And I like its kind of grayscale and the purples and the stuff. Mine's a four-way tie between the Galafossils. I mean, to be fair, the Galafossils are all that grey colour. Your favourite is Cradilli, Tyrantrum, or Aurorus? Aurorus isn't all that different. Tyrantrum is nice. I can see the vision, but I think it's a bit too gaudy, IMO. And then Cradilli, I don't know what its shiny looks like. I can't think it off the top of my head. It depends how, like, obviously it is Tropical Freeze, right? If it's, like, vaguely Tropical Freeze related, then yeah. But, that does remind me of that one time in Year 9 in English. We were all writing poems for a competition, and I decided to write mine about Pokemon. I think it was about, like, the Steven Stone fight in Oraz. And my English teacher stood up in front of my class and was like, yeah, Cahir would have won this. Cahir would have gotten sent off for the competition and would have stood a chance at winning. But because he wrote it about Pokemon, we're too scared about Nintendo fucking suing us. We're too scared about the concept of Nintendo suing us for it. Oh, you have to go already. Gotta get dog food because your dogs don't know how to scavenge. Understandable. Best of luck getting dog food. Tell the dog food salesman I said hi. Be well, Guts, indeed, and may your dog food be well as well. In a parallel universe, you're a poet laureate. I sure am. I was upset at the terrible controls. Slippery, vines, sway. Kong leaps with delayed purpose. I like that one. Frozen input fail. Inputs fail. I like that. That's a good one. That's a good one. No, I think you should anyway. Even if people don't get them, like, you're still good at it. Okay, no. Alright. Ah, shit. This is another situation when I feel like I'm not sure how many people are going to agree with me here, because this is older stuff. But who else reads haikus in the Jax film song? Slippery vine sway. Kong leaps with delayed purpose. Frozen inputs fail. Like, I always remember the Jax films haiku videos. Fossil Week, you're doing a 2 switch hunts for the Galafossils, one for Dracovish, one for Dracozolt. I see, I see. So, when is Fossil Week? Because you wouldn't want to start the Dracozolt hunt too early, right? Alright. No idea in either way. If I get Dracozolt, then I'll just swap to one of the other two. That makes sense, that makes sense. Alright. Anyway, back on with my bullshit. I've been reading the Blue Box manga. And I'm just as obsessed. I've not, like, it only gets better, really. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna keep it real. It only gets better. I'm still just as obsessed with this series as I was. The issue is I'm at, like, I have a problem. I have a conundrum. So, Blue Box is my current hyperfixation. That's great. That's wonderful. There are only 80 chapters left in the manga. I am on chapter 121. 25, I think. I'm on 125. About. The anime goes up to chapter 80. So I've, like, basically read, like, another half season. But that's not the point. The point is, right? The point is, if I keep up at the pace I'm going, I'm going to be done very soon. And, like, that is fine, right? Like, fundamentally, that's right. But then I won't have it anymore. Then I won't be able to read it anymore, because I'll be done with it. And I could just reread it, but I'd rather wait a bit before rereading it, you know? I'd rather not reread it immediately, I'd rather, like, wait a bit before rereading it. I'm not sure if I'd rewatch or reread, to be honest. Maybe both. Finishing things are sad. Like, okay, no, I'm torn, right? Normally, right? Normally, I'm very down with finishing things. Which actually makes it weird that I'm not down with finishing this, actually, now that I think about it. Normally, right, I love finishing a thing, because then it's, like, done and it's over and I know it. I know it all. I know it front to back. I know the thing. This is one of the few times where I've wanted something to last longer. And to be fair, the manga isn't completed yet. Finishing it isn't finishing it. It's getting up to date. Which, in a way, I feel like is worse. If it had a set end, I'd be chilling. But now I know that it doesn't have a set end. When I get up to date, I'll have to come back every week for the next chapter. And yeah, I usually never watch the last 1 or 2 episodes of a series because of that. So many people do that. Does anybody else here do that? Because, like, that is such a common thing. And I don't know, I've never really... Like, don't you want to know how it ends? I've never done that intentionally. Apparently Fossil Week is from the 2nd of August to the 12th of August. Oh, okay, so it's in a while. That's not a week, that's 10 days. I guess it depends on what it is. I mean, yeah, like, I feel like that is the general gist, is like, normally I'm fine with finishing things. To be fair, I think this is the first time that I've, like, interacted with a story that I've not wanted to finish. That I've not wanted to end. I think this is the first time that I've, like, actually started reading, watching, you know, I started watching the story, but now I'm reading the story because, obviously, it's a manga that was adapted into an anime, as I said before. But, like, it's gonna be over, and then I'm gonna be done with it, and then what? And then what? But I'm not gonna be done with it, because I'll be able to come back every week, but, like, all the same, and, like, this is genuinely the first time I've, like, had this issue, which is so odd. Which is so odd. I don't get it. I don't get why this is the first time I've had this issue. It just is. I do it with most K-dramas type stuff, because, you know, it's going to be like, I suddenly have to leave the country. I'm going to get hit by a car and die or something. Oh, I see. So you don't finish it because it's always going to be a sad end. I can understand that. I can understand that. New anime / manga. More watch, more consume. But I'm, like, I have genuinely not been as obsessed with the series as I have with this one, I think. It's weird. I think this is genuinely the most into, like, a story I've been. And I don't get it. I don't get it at all. Like, I think I've been this into video games, right? But it's never been the story of the video game. It's never been the story of the video game I've been so obsessed with, right? And video games, it's easy to be obsessed with a video game. Because, like, I can just fucking play the video game more after I finished it. Like, there are very few games that end when they end, right? Like, I think the only video game I can think of that when it ends, it's over is, like... Other than, like, visual novels, is, like, Fire Emblem Fates. Fire Emblem in general, actually. Fire Emblem is, like, the one game series I can think of that once you're over, it's over. Minecraft Story Mode, that is a visual novel with extra steps. Telltale games are visual novels with some quick time events. I would never be obsessed with / addicted to games. Now, Mango, we don't lie in this chat. It's funny because I'm so intent on not spoiling it. I've never really, like, pushed it as a series, but, like, I've generally tried to not spoil anything in it, because, like, I'm low-key wanting people to watch it and read it. Because it is, I don't know why I find it that good. Like, there's every chance that it just isn't. There's every chance that someone else would watch this show and be like, Cahir, this is, like, alright at best. This show is fine. And to be fair, I think a lot of people I know would echo that sentiment because it's a fucking romance. There's an event where there are mass outbreaks of Porygon. Indeed there are. From what I understand, there'll be Porygon 2s later because it's a promotion for the Switch 2. Which I think is quite cute. I'm back. You win your 50-50? No. I'm always looking for my next gripping story. When I find one, I 100% that shit no matter how long it takes. Now that's fair, that's fair. Cannot slight that. Plug-in Gene. Whereas Juniper's kind of Gene when you think about it. No, yeah, like, I don't know. Video games, I think, are like manga or anime, right? Fall into this category where it's like just like a story that's being told to you. Video games are a story you're in the middle of, right? And I don't really 100% games that often. So when I'm obsessed with a game, it's easy to be obsessed with a game. Because after I've completed the game, I haven't completed the game. There's always more game to game. Which I think, like, when I've been this obsessed with games, it's chill, it's fine. But, like, again, like, when it's, like, now it's a manga that I've seemed to, like, have latched onto real fucking hard. Again, like, I cannot think of any other time I've latched onto a story this hard. Like, this hard is, like, the thing. It's just one of those times you wonder, like, what about it did that to me? What about this made that happen? Shiny Porygon 1, nice, congratulations. How many are you gunning for? Alright. But yeah, TDLR. You should all watch Blue Box. I'm gonna gas that show up until I die. You're just gonna see how many you can get? That's understandable. I did that with Raichu once and I got like 19. And it was insane. I'm just worried that the next console generation is going to be fully download only. Yeah, no, that is, I think, a generally easy worry to have, because it probably will be. Like, I hate to say it, but I feel like at that point, there's a chance, like, Nintendo won't be, but even then, a lot of games companies will be moving to download only to the point where, like, there'll be a large portion of the software's library, of the hardware's library, that is only online. Like, it's sucky. I don't get it. Like, I think that is generally the biggest issue with, like, this online age, is how physical... I want to stop the biggest, actually. That's a lie. That's a lie. That's a big lie. That's a really big lie. It's one of the issues with it, though, is, like, everything's online now. Everything. Like, there are so few things to do these days where there's not a screen in front of you. Or there's not an alternative way you could do it with a screen in front of you. And, like, even fucking walks, if you want to go outside, you're still going to bring the bloody brick with you so you can listen to music. Or a podcast, or an audiobook, or something like that. Especially these game keycards. Now, the Switch 2 might be your last console, genuinely. That's fair, that's fair. I can't slate that. It is sucky. It's nice that some companies aren't doing that. But why are they doing it to begin with? Like, in 3 Body Problem, the sequel called The Dark Forest, there's a bit set in the future. And in said future, and I feel like it's there are some unrealistic parts of the future presented, but I feel like that's because of the situation of the Dark Forest. You should read 3 Body Problem, by the way, or watch it. 3 Body Problem is also a show on Netflix. I'd more recommend you read it. To be clear, I'm just going to clarify what I'm saying here. Blue Box is the thing that has obsessed me the most. If you watch it, you should watch it because it is a thing that's absolutely obsessed. It's enraptured me. I don't know how. I don't know why. It's just grabbed me that hard. Then 3 Body Problem is just, it's a good, interesting sci-fi series. It's a step below. It's a step below the Blue Box in my recommendation priority queue. But 3 Body Problem is an interesting sci-fi series. This is just like a general recommendation. This isn't like this show is obsessed me. This is like this series is really good and interesting. Is, you know, it's I think it's one of the better sci-fi I've read. Obviously, like, Dune is like the big one. The big sci-fi. Everybody loves Dune. Like, I think of sci-fi series, Dune, now it's had a film adaptation, is probably going to be up there with, like, Star Wars from now on. You know? Like, I'm sure that it will be a series remembered, but, like, 3 Body Problem probably isn't going to be, because it was an obscure Netflix show. It's like an interesting series, philosophically. And I'd highly recommend watching it. Guessing you saw the Doctor Who thing. Yeah. I saw it. Saw it in cinemas. That's why there was no stream on Saturday. I did a Genshin stream on Friday instead of Saturday, and then I was like, maybe if I'm like not too tired, because I had close family friend's 100th birthday party on Saturday, and then we left that to go and watch Doctor Who in cinema. I was like, if I'm not too tired after that, then maybe I'll stream. I did not want to after I finished that episode, man. I did not want to anymore. I just wanted to sit there in silence. I just wanted to sit there in silence. 100 indeed. 100 years old. Which was whack. But yeah, no, it was impressive, and it was nice to see her. And there was some really nice cheesecake. Those are the top 3 things. And yeah, no, that was like a really good like fun day, good dinner and stuff. And then there was Doctor Who, and like, I get it, right? Of course it was going to be shit. Of course it was going to be shit, right? Because it was reshoots. It was fucking reshot because he had to regenerate. Because, like, Ncuti is like an up-and-coming actor. He's still very young. He's got a big acting career ahead of him. Being the Doctor is great, right? And I can see why he wants to be it, and I'm sure he didn't want to back away from the show. But if Disney haven't renewed it yet, which they seemingly fucking haven't, what else is he gonna do? He can't just keep on sitting on an opportunity, denying calls, saying he can't work on other movies, specifically because he's waiting for a new series of a TV show. No, he needs to focus on his own career. He can't just tank it because Disney isn't renewing Doctor Who. That's fair enough. I'm in full support of that, right? But that, like, the reshoots they did there, I don't even think the reshoots were in the episode, honestly. I think the episode had 52 other billion issues with it that, like, made it as fucking shit as it was. And that's ignoring the fact that... It's ignoring the fact he regenerated into fucking Rose Tyler! I really wonder if I'd have a more positive opinion on that scene. Let's get into the defibrillator for the ratings. They're not that bad! The ratings aren't that bad! The thing that I do not understand is Doctor Who is one of the best performing shows. This isn't some kind of ratings. This isn't some kind of like, oh, the ratings are bad, so they need to save it kind of thing. I do not think that's it. I don't think that's it. I don't think that's why she's back. Because the ratings aren't even that fucking bad. Like, the Doctor Who is still one of the BBC's best performing shows. They'd be stupid to axe it. This isn't a ratings thing. My thing is, the fact that it's not been renewed. I think the issue is the fact that it hasn't been renewed. They can't get an actor to sign on to a series that doesn't exist yet. So for some reason, he thought that he, like, Dr. How, Dr. Witch. So my think is Russell T wanted the Doctor to regenerate into someone else, so we have the hype of seeing the new Doctor, right? Which makes sense, right? That makes sense. There is hype behind seeing a new Doctor, and I can't slate that. But it'd be hard to get a new actor to actually sign on for Doctor Who if it might not happen, right? Because that put them in the exact same shoes that Ncuti is. So that's fair fucking enough. So I think he went with a safe bet of someone who was probably going to say yes, and that was Billie Piper. I've seen that theory floating around. Maybe that's not it. Maybe it is for some reason the BBC going, the ratings need to be higher. But it just feels quite stupid because David Tennant just came back, man. David Tennant just came back. So sandwiching Ncuti between David Tennant and Billie Piper feels like a disservice and makes him this weird outlier of, like, nostalgia bait. Again, like, I really wonder if the episode was actually good, if the episode was good and interesting, if the episode was good, interesting, and its best scene wasn't of my least favourite Doctor showing up for some reason, then I wonder if I'd have, like, a more positive opinion on it. Because the idea of the Doctor regenerating into a past companion, of wearing a past companion's face, that's a really interesting idea. That's an interesting idea. I'm gonna be honest. And if I'm even more honest, there are 2 companions I could see pulling that idea off. Jenna Coleman, aka Clara Oswald, or Rose Tyler, aka Billie Piper. If they don't do some kind of cop-out where this is like 2 specials revolving around Rose Tyler, and actually make and commit to Billie Piper being the Doctor, I think we could be in for some interesting seasons, just because Billie Piper's a good actor. Billie Piper's a good actor. She's been on Doctor Who before, which means that she can help like, she's got that kind of like backlog of the chance to understand, right? Like, much like Peter Capaldi being such a good Doctor because he fundamentally had been watching the show since its conception, so had a really good understanding of it. An actor who's been a part of the show, a proper part of the show before, carrying on the Doctor mantle, that makes sense. She could be a really good Doctor, and I'm very much down for it. But it just, like, the issue is, right, and I honestly don't think it's a Doctor Who issue. I'm gonna be honest, I don't think it's just a Doctor Who issue. I think it's an issue with society at large, where fucking nothing's new anymore. Nothing's new anymore. We're looking at right now one of the best, like, movies in cinema, like, not best movies, best performing movies in cinema at the moment, is a live-action remake of Lilo and Stitch. Robert Downey Jr. is coming back into Marvel as another character. Everything that hasn't happened will be new at some point. Everything's new at some point. Whoops. I don't think you understand the points I'm making. Or maybe you do and I don't understand the point you're making, but I don't really understand the point you're making all the same. Like, everyone is so unwilling to invest in new things. For some reason, there was a time when it was new. I think you're just not having the same conversation we are, man. Like, studios are so afraid of losing money at this point. Studios are so afraid of losing money at this point that they don't want to take any risks. They don't want to take any chances. The only time they're ever willing to take chances is on people they feel they can take chances on, like Christopher Nolan. You stopped paying attention to Robert. You got distracted by the idea of Rob starring in a movie. He should. Rob, you should star in a movie. Hear me out, indie. As in, you're saying he should be in an indie movie, or he should be Indiana Jones? Which is another thing that they fucking brought back. Christopher Nolan, exactly. Did I actually say his name? I'm not sure if I said his name. Or not. But, OMG, Christopher Nolan should hire Rob. He should! That's true and real! But, you know, Christopher Nolan is one of, like, the few names in Hollywood that they're willing to trust with, like, a new thing. With a new thing that might not make money. Because it's Christopher Nolan, so they feel like he actually has a chance at making money. And, like, that's fair enough. Christopher Nolan makes some really fucking good movies. You're gonna go, your brother is driving you to sleep. I see. Have good rest. Have good rest and sleep. But no, yeah, like, Christopher Nolan is, like, one of the few people who can, like, make a new thing. Can your brother drive? Can his brother drive you? But yeah, like, they're making a new Jurassic Park movie. Exactly! They're making a new Jurassic Park movie. Again. And you'll never guess what fucking happens in it. They go to an island full of dinosaurs! What a new novel idea! I wonder if someone's gonna get eaten. We bring back everything except Pixar's cars, okay. Do not! They already did that. They already did that, Felix. I hate to say it, Felix. I don't hate to say it. They already did that. That's a thing that's already happened. Didn't it end at Fallen Kingdom? Then restart Dominion, and then Dominion also? Probably, man. I don't know. I guess I'm spending another 300 quid on a Jurassic World the game. Best of luck, I guess. But it's like... You would like to see a fourth one. I feel like it ended pretty well at 3. Did you watch 3? Did you watch the third Cars movie? Money is money, exactly. That is indeed the issue. Also, welcome to the stream, Jello. I hope your week has been going well. Like, that is, like, the fundamental issue. But it means, like, there's just... And, like, there is new stuff is the thing. And I think that's an important thing to note, is there is new stuff. But it just isn't pushed as hard as them rehashing old stuff. Like, it's very rare that new stuff does anything. Like, Sinners. Sinners did really well. Sinners was really popular, and that was a new thing. And it shows that new things can work, right? Summer holidays, hell yeah. It shows new things can work. And as to the Cars thing, they could do someone else set to the same universe. That could be boring because of Cars. Yeah, no, they could definitely do like they could definitely like do new, like a new story set in the Cars universe, but like maybe they should just make another spy movie, you know? Freedom is for Chris, I think. Yeah. Screenwriters aren't given freedom these days. To be fair, Christopher Nolan's a director, not a screenwriter. I have a feeling it's down to budget. People less like to invest in a new thing than something ingrained in people's minds. No, exactly. Exactly that, right? No, that is exactly it. But if we only ever make old things, then there can't be the new things to profit off. Like, if a new thing does well, you invest in a new thing and it does well, you can spawn a franchise from that. Right? That happened time and again during the 2000 and... That's happened time and time and again up until the mid-2010s when we just stopped. He writes his films too, though, right? He does? Oh, fair enough, fair enough. I take that back then. Why don't we circle back to my idea, indie games? But it's as Rob said, if it's got no budget, it's got less advertisement. Indie games are cool and original, and so are indie movies and stuff, but like they're never gonna kind of grab that attention, which means in general, anything you used to like, I guess that's old. I don't know. It's hard to put into words. If Cars 2 can be made to City, Cars 4 is for Holly freaking Shiftwell. Yeah. No, that's true. So no Hell Drivers rerun? That's still a standing brand. It's a vicious cycle in the... It is. It's nasty, it's dull, and it just means that there's less and less new interesting ideas coming out. Like, my favourite movie of the year so far is just Mickey 17. Now, that's a book adaptation, to be fair, so it's not an entirely new thing. But, like, that was great. That was really good, and it was fresh, and it was a new concept, that idea, and I really enjoyed it. But it did kind of arse in the box office, because it wasn't like a thing people recognized, and it's... And, like, I think in a context where society wasn't fucking Ouroboros and eating itself, that Billy Piper as the Doctor would have been an idea I would be really, really on board for and interested in. But these days everyone's just mining up their nostalgia again, and it's... Generally thinks such new concept pops off for a year or two, then the clones show up, and everything is dead for a decade. And then more new concepts. Because everything doesn't make profit. Because everyone hates everything. Arrowhead guys made Helldivers since like 2010. Yeah. Oh, I see, you're saying repo. Okay, no, I understand your point now. No, yeah, okay. What you're failing to understand about repo is... I think video games kind of are a different beast, right? But a small little indie game to be played with friends, like that kind of idea and concepts, kind of works well because of the existence of YouTube, right? The only reason it kind of works in the way it does is because it's a big multiplayer funny game. The existence of repo doesn't necessarily debunk or disprove the idea that culture is eating itself. Because the money still isn't going towards repo. Even if repo has made a lot of money, even if repo's had a lot of players, it still won't stand up to, like, Monster Hunter. Or Schlungus Reboot 3. Sonic Games, hello, how goes it? I hope your week has been going well. I think the first indie game that hit it big was the one guy spending 10 years to make Cave Story. Yeah. Reboot 3 was fine. It was the second that sucked, yeah? Going well, about to graduate on Wednesday. Oh, nice! Best of luck! Well, I guess the luck is not needed anymore, because you're probably done with all the exams. College doesn't hit the end of every cycle. As long as Disney loses money, we'll see another classic. We'll see another classic, but I don't quite... The issue fundamentally has... Since the 2010s, and things have started making, like, billions of dollars, everyone's always wanted their new billion-dollar property. Disney will make a new thing every now and again. But it'll be every now and again, right? And you said it yourself, it's Disney that'll make it. Disney falls into the same category as, like, Christopher Nolan, where people are going to watch the new Disney Princess movie. Because it's the new Disney Princess movie. Yeah, do you like Reshiram or Zekrom more? I've always been more of a Reshiram fan. But, like, in general, Disney will keep on pumping out more Star Wars and soulless Marvel movies and live-action remakes of old properties, because that makes money. Have we mentioned Etho's birthday yet? No, because this is a Pokemon stream. And actually, yes, you talked about it in the Discord. Call you're a Reshiram? I don't think Reshiram's a bird. Reshiram is a dragon, quite. Now we might get closer to 12k than I thought today. I don't think we're going to get to 12k, but we might end up at like 11,850. I could see us ending at about 11,950. It's about Disney stuff. If Disney lost money on every remake for a year, they're either bleed dry and quit or make something else because save money, no more save. Yeah, but what you're forgetting there is that, and you'd have to rely on them losing money on every remake for a year. It feels like, Like, it feels like you're relying on a what if that is almost seemed like it might be real when Snow White did horse shit, but then Lilo and Stitch has done really well. And even so, if the live-action remakes from Disney stopped doing so well, what you're forgetting is that they have like a million other properties they are continuing to milk dry. Like Star Wars and Marvel. Yeah, Lilo and Stitch was real good yesterday. I don't think someone's been paying attention to the conversation. It's a meme that PM7 created. I see. I don't really watch them all that much. 11950 is one of the best non-95s. Technically, it is a 95. It's got a 95 in it. But 11995 will be it. It does have 2 1s and 2 9s, which is quite satisfying. Antonina's bottomless pit of money. That too. Kira, are you going to watch the third Lion King live-action 4D Ultra HD remake? Of course. I consume. To be fair, I'm playing Pokemon, so maybe I should shut up about that much. I can't believe the Lion King sequel... No, to be fair, they have made Lion King sequels in the past. But, like, isn't the first Lion King sequel to actually hit cinemas the one with the most lifeless, dull art style? Disney is like 100 years old and have parks and stuff that bring in a shitload of cash. Exactly, like, the Disney parks, like, I'm sure if Disney stopped producing movies tomorrow, they'd still be making enough money from their theme parks to be sitting pretty for ages. They should do a second Detective Pikachu. That much I agree with. Like, okay, I don't think sequels are necessarily the issue. I think it's, like, the over-reliance on sequels and reboots and stuff. Like, fundamentally, the idea behind making new properties, right, would be so you can make a sequel for that new property. It's as simple as. That was always the old goal and idea when they made a new movie, was if this does well, we can make a sequel so we can get more money out of it. Anyone want to watch... I was hit by a car, so I was remade as... Okay. Alex Song, hello. What characters named Lana do I know? I don't think that's her name in that game I'm thinking of. Where is it? It's on my Switch shelf. Okay, no, that's Dana, not Lana. Lana, yeah, I was gonna say Lana from Pokemon. Lana from Pokemon was my next choice. I'm thinking of Layla from Genshin, but that's not Lana. I think it might just be Lana from Pokemon that I can think of. I'd have to dwell harder to maybe think of another. They're making Elio, which is new, but I don't think it was made by Disney. Elio is a Pixar movie, and I'd say Pixar movies fall into, like, the Christopher Nolan thing of, like, it's a name with enough prestige that it was always going to do well anyway. You know? I think they should add Deoxys and Rayquaza in the second Detective Pikachu movie, so we can see the reason they hate each other. I don't think that's what a Detective Pikachu movie should be about. Like, we saw that in Destiny Deoxys. So that's already happened. And I don't think that's a Detective Pikachu plot. Like, I think that's just something you want to see in a Pokemon live-action movie. But I don't think that should be in Detective Pikachu 2. I think that would be mightily out of place. Yeah, but they should make it realistic for people who want to know why. The issue is you paired up the word realistic and suggesting the plot point of the giant dragon fights the alien from out of space. Like, again, I just don't think that's a Detective Pikachu movie. Cahir, if you had one Master Ball but were faced by Gunk, Shiny Minccino, and Shenhe, who'd you choose? Shenhe isn't a Pokemon. Shiny Minccino can't be caught. So Krogunk. Unless this Master Ball also functions like the Master Ball that... I don't think it was actually a Master Ball that he used. But you know, like when Professor Kukui proposes to Burnett in the Sun and Moon anime? And, like, the ring is in a Pokeball? If it's that, then Shenhe. Ring and balls. Fuck's sake. Maybe they should have Pikachu face Deoxys and Rayquaza, but they should add Ash Ketchum in the movie for the reason because he's Pikachu's trainer. I'm gonna reiterate the idea that maybe you don't understand the idea and concepts of what a Detective Pikachu's meant to be. Spoilers, this isn't actually happening, Tobin, don't worry. This is a theory for what the movie... Like, this is an idea, a concept for what the movie should be. And, Oh! Oh no, you're saying spoilers is in Ash Ketchum being the trainer for Detective Pikachu. Which isn't true. Ash Ketchum isn't Detective Pikachu's trainer. Detective Pikachu is the trainer of Miles' father, as clarified quite early on in the movie. Is his name Miles? Or did I just get that wrong? It's Tim. His name is Tim. Why did I think he was called Miles? What? Wait, what? Anyway, I think a Detective Pikachu movie... Like, I get the first one wasn't all that grounded, but I feel like... If we're making, like, a movie about a Detective Pikachu, he should be doing some detective work, right? So maybe the villain should be, like, a human, a person of some kind. Deoxys, I could see being in a Detective Pikachu movie, right? Now, do not get me wrong, Deoxys, I think, would be interesting in a Detective Pikachu movie. But I feel like making, No, I mean... Oh, shit, I'm sorry! Okay, that's fair. That is fair. I'm sorry about that. It did happen almost a decade ago, though. Played dumb, Mars. What's a kilometer? Not that dumb. But, you know, I could see Deoxys being in a Detective Pikachu movie, because then you can have, like, oh, they're experimenting on Deoxys or some shit like that. Like, how the original Detective Pikachu went. You know, like, kind of in how the original Detective Pikachu went. But, like, all the same, I feel like there are more interesting plots you can make in a Detective Pikachu movie than a kaiju movie in your detective movie. I think that they did almost make a Detective Pikachu too, because of the leaks that came out earlier this year. Yeah, it was earlier this year. From the leaks that came out earlier this year, there was like a poster and everything for it. But it seems like whatever idea they had fell through. Maybe it's because the game did badly, the second game. I'd quite like to see Detective Pikachu versus Gumshoes, the movie, exactly. It'd be cool if they made a new one, but I feel like at this point they're not planning on it. From what I understand, they were going to make a live-action series on Netflix, so I'd assume that's still in the works. Although I don't think it started filming yet, so I don't know what that's about. Like, I don't know, like... To be fair, we've had no Pokemon movies for... The last Pokemon movie that was made in general was the Zarude movie. And that was in, like, 2021 that it released, even though it was meant to release in 2020. So that is 4 years. Nothing on the front of any Pokemon movie. Not just live action, but animated as well. And I hope that we get a new Pokemon movie at some point. Like, whether it's Liko, Roy, and Dot in a movie, whether it's a movie set in, like, the kind of Ash Ketchum movie universe, or even straight up the Ash Ketchum anime universe. I mean, they'd need to work up the new anime, right? They wouldn't have to, because in the Pokemon movie I Choose You, obviously Ash Ketchum, they reinvented the movies where they were entirely separate from the anime. So if they continued on with that idea... To be honest, I think they should do Detective Pikachu 2 with Deoxys and Mewtwo, and the villain should be Deoxys and Mewtwo. I think we have very different ideas of what we want a Detective Pikachu 2 to be. I think that's the general takeaway here, is we have very different ideas of what we'd like to see in that movie. Pikachu vs. Snivy the anime, and it's just a clip of Snivy beating Pikachu. Well, that already happened. Cahir, I need you to direct a movie called Pokemon Let's Go Gambling. Sounds good? And I definitely wouldn't mind a remake of 2000. That was your favourite movie. I wasn't talking about That already happened. It's The Power of Us, the best Pokemon movie. And it's not really a remake of the movie 2000, but it's more or less a remake of the movie 2000. And it's the best Pokemon movie. Power of Us is, I think, genuinely the best Pokemon movie. And honestly, I think is a perfect, like, marketed idea for why they should probably make Pokemon movies without Ash going forward. Because if Ash wasn't in that movie, it would have taken nothing away from it. He added very little to that film. But you should watch The Power of Us. Why are you screaming at me? You tiny little beast that lives in my house. You little beast that lives in this household, huh? What are you doing, huh? Do you want food, huh? Do you want to eat? So at this point you're over odds for this hunt. I have been for the last 4,000 encounters or so. Feed the Missy? No, she doesn't deserve it. No, she does. I'll feed her after stream. Her bowl's probably full, I'll be honest. Additionally, there are other people in this house she could ask. So I'm not being cruel to her. She's just being a bizarre little creature. Aren't you, huh? Wait, why do I have heart? I just reset over the fucking title screen. I meant the CGI Mewtwo one. Oh, I see. I don't know. I don't think we need shot-for-shot remakes of movies, but in CG. Isn't that exactly what I was complaining about earlier? I'm annoyed because I had a heartburn pill this morning. I forgot to take one yesterday, and I had heartburn and it sucked. I don't get why I have heartburn right now, when I had a heartburn pill this morning. That's bullshit. Anyway. But yeah, no, Power of Us is genuinely a peak Pokemon movie. I've not seen the Zarude movie. That might be better. That might be better. If it's up with the quality of Power of Us, it might be better. But... True, but I wouldn't mind seeing a fully rendered Lugia. I see. These are your motivations. I want to see a like movie where Ash is older than 11. To be fair, I could see arguments that like he was older in Journeys, but I don't really think they're going to do that with Ash, and I think that's fine. He's never really meant to have been a character who was old. I think it's the simple and blunt truth of it. He was never really meant to be a character that was an adult. That was never really his MO of a person. Never really what he was meant to communicate as a character. I think people always wanted him to be older because they wanted to see him grow up alongside them, and I think that makes sense, but it was quite clear that was never really their intention with him as a character. They never really wanted him. Oh yeah, you tried Gamer Subs today. And? Well, how was it? I want to see a movie where Ash retires and has to teach his son how to build a Trick Room team. Yeah. It's fine, probably not worth it. That's fair. It always seemed like that to me. I've never really got the hype behind gamer fuel stuff. To be clear, if any company wants to pay me enough money, I will change that opinion. If any company wants to give me money, that opinion is very easily influenced. And I am easily influenced. And you can easily influence me. I don't think that Ash is coming back. I'd say at this point, no. If soon after Horizons had premiered, we'd gotten another movie with Ash in it, I could have seen Ash coming back. But... do you guys think that they should find a reason in Detective Pikachu 2 for Deoxys to side with Mewtwo if it happened? I feel like I've already clarified why. I feel like there should be some kind of understanding at this point that I just am not on board with this idea. Oh wait! There's a funny internet term for this now. A funny internet point. A funny internet saying I can use to describe my feelings. On the pitch that just sounds like hype, moments, and aura. Just hype, moments, and aura. No plot. It was like 60 quid for a cup and one drink thingy, and I don't think it will have that many drinks in it. 60 quid? What the fuck? "10 kilograms of pure caffeine. Oh no. The cup is cool though. It has a little milk bag guy on it. Oh. You see, when you said the cup is cool then, I was getting worried there that, because Gamer Subs is quite famous for the cups they have with women with giant boobs on them. In fact, I think they've collaborated with a lot of VTubers. In fact, Gamer Subs is the one that right now is in the middle of a controversy because some of the VTubers they've collaborated with are really racist, right? Like, wasn't that the issue? Or was it one of the others? Because there are like 52 billion gamer caffeine fuel brands. You know? Finn? Finn, I'm sure Mod D Robbie wants to be there, but I think you invited the wrong Rob to that group chat. I don't know if she's still here, actually. I might have just said that out loud to no one in particular, just to end her business. And I hope that's not the case. But I should have asked if Finn was still there or not. I should have said that first before saying anything else. That does for Monica, I at fish. Huh. No, it's funny, my cup has many little milk bag guys on it wreaking havoc in a shop. Oh, I see. Yeah, I think what I'm gonna do is get to 11,950 and then I'm gonna end. Because I want to make a bigger thing when I'm about to hit 12k. Finn, are you there? Finn. Finn. Calling all. Dorsal fin ones. Too bad you won't hit 12k. I'm gonna die? Oh. Oh, man. Oh, that sucks. It's gonna suck when I die in the next 2 weeks. If it's not 11,995, I'm gonna do something drastic. No! Just drink water, real and true. SFA has redeemed everybody, hydrate. I finished most of my drink bottle today during this stream, and that's insane. Okay, what do you think of a realistic Scarlet and Violet movie or Sword and Shield movie? I feel like if we were to make more realistic Pokemon movies, I'd rather they tell their own tales and stories in the Pokemon universe. The Pokemon universe is a very big place. I don't think they just need to keep I don't think they should keep retelling stories we've already seen play out. I think one of the joys of the grand spread of Pokemon media is the fact there are so many stories you can tell within this world. That I think it'd be a bit moot, a bit dull, if we just kept on telling stories that have already happened, rather than new ones. I have a reminder on my phone from something you said like 2 years ago that I'm going to die on a certain day in August 2025. Yeah, you are. I'll always remember, I told my mate that he was going to die on a specific day once. And I set a reminder in my phone. I set a reminder on my phone that he was going to die on that date. And it was a random day. I pulled it out my arse. I said it years ago. Then soon after, we started meeting up every Thursday for lunchtime in town. We had like lunch together every Thursday in town. And that's fun. That's been a fun event, right? And then one day, we were in Waitrose. I was shopping for something in Waitrose. I can't remember what it was exactly. And I got a notification on my phone. I pulled it out. He was standing right behind me. And it just said, bye-bye. It was Kite. It just said, bye-bye, Kite on the screen. And he looked over my shoulder, looked me in the eyes. It just wasn't on purpose. I don't think I deliberately set that up to be that way. You know what it was, actually? It wasn't a day I said he was going to die just for nothing. I think I said that I was going to get him into a car accident. Kite is a ghost. Cahir killed Kite. Shh. Shh. Right, why didn't you just ask him where the ghost exited from? Of course! It all comes full circle. It all comes full circle. I can imagine what it would be like in real life if it was realistic. I get that, but I think that there's a lot of very good animation in some of the Pokemon movies. There's more you can do with an animated Pokemon than you can do with a live-action one, I think. And I think that's why they were so scared to do that many fights in the series, in Detective Pikachu, sorry. Because there were like 1 or 2 proper like battles between Pokemon in Detective Pikachu. Like, yeah. The updated Scarlet Violet looks way better. It looks like it runs way better. Other than that, it looks pretty much the same in my opinion. It looks like, gameplay-wise, it's a lot smoother, right? It's like it's going to be a lot smoother and easier to play. Graphically, it doesn't look all that much interesting. Okay, here, would it be interesting to see Arceus in Detective Pikachu 2? I don't know why you keep asking me these. Okay, that was maybe a bit of a mean way to say it. But I feel like I've had the exact same opinion with every time you've said this. And it's, no, not really. I don't think that would work in a Detective Pikachu movie. Like, they'd have to have a damn good reason. Because Detective Pikachu is a very, like, grounded franchise. Like, I will give one thing, and that is at the end of the first movie, some guy made everyone swap brains with their Pokemon. That is quite out there as a concept, I'll give you that. But it's still a very, like, Pokemon concept. It kind of felt like a anime plot. It didn't feel as high stakes. I think if they start bringing 6 trillion legendaries into the series, it would kind of be too much. It'd feel like less like they had actual ideas for it and just wanted to chill out cool moments. Hype moments and aura. When the original Detective Pikachu, I think, succeeds in just being a very heartfelt story. Okay, would you like to see Abra in Detective Pikachu or Drowsy used to commit crimes? That Drowsy used to commit crimes and then them solving that crime, I think would be like a very good like opener. You know, a very good like small plot point in the movie, right? Although I feel like it'd be better if it were Hypno. I don't know why. I don't know why. I guess it could still be Drowsy. You know how like Mr. Mime was like a kind of like subplot enemy? What about a Slasher Scyther? I feel like we're maybe getting out of the PG rating that they'd probably want this movie to have. You know? I feel like we're straying a bit too far. Alright. Alright. Nine more encounters and then I'll be ending for the day, it seems. How can I make this about Blue Box? How can I bring Blue Box back up right now? Blue Box isn't red. Correct. What? The game date will be a race screen is kind of blue. That's true, actually. You're not a blue box. No. But I'm a big fan of it. Alright. The cat isn't on the bed at the moment. Actually, that's kind of useful, because if she was on the bed, she'd be sleeping on my hoodie right now, and I kind of need to put that in the wash. You know? Like, that's the issue with cats. Is like, you leave something on the bed and they sit on it. Whether it's something you need to, like, throw away or put in the wash or wear. Blue Box and Pokemon Detective Pikachu collab would be insane. I don't know. I really Pokemon Blue Box, I think, could be interesting. I'm still trying to figure out how Detective Pikachu and Blue Box would like, collaborate and make a story together. Because they're very much not similar genres. They're just not similar genres of story. In fact, I think Tim in the movies is straight up an adult as well. I don't think he is in the games. Alright. Wait, that's Blue Lock. Poker Football. Wait, that's Blue Lock. Yeah, no. We're not talking about Blue Lock. We're not talking about mid here. We're talking about mid here, huh? Poker Daycare? Okay, I still don't think you know what Blue Box is. I think you've recorrected yourself, but you've not quite twigged what's being talked about here. Not at all. Okay, yeah, no, I thought so. I thought that might be the case. Tim's kid could be the protagonist. Again, I feel like... I think the fundamental issue being overlooked here is Blue Box is a very character-driven story. About the characters in Blue Box. I don't... You know, maybe if you want to understand the peakness that is Blue Box, you should watch it. It's on Netflix. Haven't seen it. All I know is it's Romance Anime of the Year. It is! It is! And it really deserved it, honestly. Like, that is... like, fucking... Lullaby Central, what is it called? Solo Leveling? Anime of the Year? Boo. Should have been free run. Blue Box? Glazed Box? Oh, I'm gonna kill you. I said it in a funny voice. Honestly, I just said that because you're saying, how can I make this about Blue Box? No, yeah, I realized halfway through, but... I'm trying to think of at all how I could relate these two concepts. Very much felt like, I don't think there's any accurate way I can put it. Anyway, I'm at 11,950 now. Which does, I'd say, put us toward the end of the stream. Which is good, because I kind of need to piss. So, But, do not worry, in 2 weeks, piss GG, in 2 weeks, I'll be back. In 2 weeks, I'll be back with Minccino hunting. We will be getting to 12k encounters in 2 weeks' time, so do be sure to stop by. But there will be a stream this Friday as well. Do not worry, there will be a Friday stream. I'll be doing raids, probably. I don't think there's a new 7-star raid, so it will probably be the other one. It will probably be... yeah. Dynamax Adventures. We'll be doing Dynamax Adventures. But yeah, thank you all for coming. I hope you all had a great time. I certainly have. I'll be back again on Friday. I'll be back again on Wednesday for some Genshin if you want to do some Genshin. Great micros here. Oh. Microwave is here. But yeah, thank you all for coming. I hope you all had a great time. And I will see you all on I'll see you all on Friday. Goodbye and good night.